Hi guys, it's me again. In this tutorial, we're going to look at how we're going to use useFieldArray and useWatch. If you are, quite new to React Hook Form, I probably would recommend you to step away and watch some of the other video first to get you familiar with the API, familiar with the use form, before we dive into this bit more advanced topic. Okay, so if you're ready, let's have a look. What are we going to cover today? We're going to look at useFieldArray. If you are searching for the term of field array, you're probably already familiar with what useFieldArray is. It's basically more like a to-do list that you can add, delete, and remove item, and basically building dynamic form. So we're gonna actually building some sort of almost like a shopping cart out of scratch, to get you understanding some of the some of the ideas and things that you need to be aware of using React Hook Form with FieldArray, because this is probably a little bit different with how you used to building control to use FieldArray before. And the other thing we're going to actually cover is we're going to cover that V6 new custom hook called useWatch, and shows you the power of what actually useWatch was being produced on version 6, and what problem that we try to solve with useWatch. So without further ado, let's go into the real example. So I've already got useFieldArray React Hook Form installed. So first thing first, let's getting all the hooks in place. Cool. So we talk about the 3 hooks that we're gonna use today, which is useFieldArray, useForm, and useWatch. I've already got a little form setting up already, so let's keep building on top of it. Let's import register as usual. I mean, kind of pretty fundamental for React Hook Form, everything to be registered. And then we're also going to use the control object to hook up with useFieldArray. And then we're going to give a unique name, to kind of acting like a key name for the field array. So we're just going to call it items. Cool. So once you invoked useFieldArray, you're going to get an object which is called fields, and you're going to get a bunch of methods. In this tutorial, we're going to cover append, move. Probably not going to move. We're going to append and remove. That's all we're going to cover. Cool. Now let's map the fields, which is getting the fields objects and then map it. We're going to return a div. Inside the div, we're going to contain a bunch of inputs inside. Let's get a single input. Let's get the structure up running first. We're going to get a select. We're also going to get an input type number. And lastly, we want to also give it a button, which we want to deleting item on the screen. So let's give it a type equal button. Cool. So we've got a few things set up. Now useFieldArray generate this field objects, which contains the thing that you capture in the form, and also it give you a unique ID which you can use on the key map. So if you're not familiar with key, I would recommend you study React on what a key is actually used for when you actually mapping items. Cool, we got a bunch of things working, and nice complaint about user form is not correct. I typed that 1,000 times, I still make mistakes. So shame on me. Now let's also add a append button. So I've only got 9% left, so we want to achieve the whole thing within 9%. Hopefully it's going to be precise and good for you guys. Let's give it a type button. The moment we click, we want to actually append a new item. So we keep it as empty array to start with, empty object. You know what, maybe we should setting up all the names first, because the name is important for React Hook Form to identify what are they to be captured in the hook. So let's give the name already there. Also, let's register all of them too. Cool. Ref equal register. So this is probably different when you're building a normal form. In useFieldArray, you have to make sure that register actually have a callback. The reason we were doing that because when we were mapping the item, we want to make sure that item get re-registered again, especially when you shuffling item, when you're deleting item. It does require sometimes a re-register an item. Cool. So we got that working, and then actually let's try to append. Voila, we already got some item on the screen. So as you can see, the more you append, the more item will be actually appearing on the screen. Cool. Now we want to actually give name of each individual field that we can actually collecting data. So let's go with the root name of the item, which is called items, and we also want to give it an index, which is the index of this whole array, and then let's give it a name. Cool. We want to follow the similar style in here. Boom. And we want to give what is it called? This thing is going to be type, and this thing is going to be amount, and last thing, oh, actually we don't want to register the button. Oh my god, my bad. So this is going to be a delete button. Let's call this remove. We want to remove this, and we want to give it an on-click method. Cool. And we want to remove that specific index. Nice, nice. Oh, god damn you, Firefox. Cool. Now we should have it. Nice. We got all the buttons that we have. Every time we append, we actually register the input inside the hook form, and then we just quickly test the submit, whether the submit is actually working. So let's get the handle submit out of there. Oops. Why the autocomplete is not working? Yeah, cool. On submit, cool. And then we're just gonna have a console log as a callback inside. Let's just quickly try it out, make sure everything works. We give it a name, select, we haven't got it. Oh, my bad. We've got to have some kind of options inside, right? Let's go option. So we always asking user to select, so we give it a default value as empty, select, and then we give it 2 more items in here. We call item A. And then we call item B, and we give a value into it. We want to do a bit of a calculation later on, which is when we can actually use watch. Nice, nice. Now let's just double check everything actually going through correctly. Let's go. Ooh, where's the submit button? Damn, Bill. Okay. Nothing. Let's try that again. Now we got it this time. Lovely. So if we get another one, we hit submit. I didn't see that. Never mind, do it again. 2 items. Fantastic. So there's a few features you probably already see in the video. For example, the moment you append, we automatically focus on the item that let the user start typing. Really good focus management to allow the user to continues the action automatically. Some little hidden gem in the useFieldArray that you probably didn't know. You can also disable that functionality as well, so we kind of give you the option too. Right, so we got the field array kind of working, and we can obviously deleting items. So why remove is not working? Oh, on a board. Lovely autocomplete. Nice. This should work now. Data is undefined. Why? Don't play with me, Firefox. Cool, working. Okay, now we can move on. The other very important things is in useFieldArray, because it's uncontrolled, the input value actually lives inside each input that we actually mapped out. So we want to make sure that we actually give a default value. This allows us to make sure that the value gets assigned to the input when we delete and shuffle item to be displayed correctly. So we want to getting all the data out from the field array. So in here will be name, type, and amount. Cool. So let's do that. Default value equal name, and we want to do that for the rest of it. This will be the type, and the last boy on the screen is gonna be amount. Cool. Now we all settle with useFieldArray. Cool. Got beautiful functionality happening right there. We can successfully deleting item. We can do a successful submit. If you're feeling a bit tired, well done. You already bit through with me this complexity with useFieldArray. And then if you got the basic understanding of mapping the fields, removing item, adding item, picking up the rest of the functionality should be fairly simple, right? Like we're talking about append, insert, swap, move, and remove. Cool. So next we're gonna actually jump into useWatch. You probably will be wondering, like, okay, why do you need to use watch? Why can't you just, watch the whole array in here? Yes, perfect. You are perfectly right. We can easily just watch the whole field array in here, and then we basically getting each on change. We're getting the latest value out from the field array. But you see, like, you can straight away feel that the performance is not there, because every time that you run through the entire field array, you remap it again, you return the result, you re-render it again. Every time that your form is fairly complicated and you have nested child components, your component tree gets bigger. What's a way to actually to improve that without too much magic from of the memorizing all that stuff? This is where useWatch is gonna be your good friend. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a little price component in here, right? Just gonna do in here. Normally do another component, but we get a bit lazy in here, so we're just gonna do in here. Let's just return a span so it doesn't start with a new paragraph. Missing this. Let's give it a test, and we want so in order to use useWatch, you're gonna need this control object as well. So it's gonna be like this. Oop. Let's see, even I don't know how to use it. So this is the part that the name is actually what you want to watch. Same API as watch API. So in this example, we want to watch the entire items. Cool. Now let's console log out the value, see if that's happening, and we also want to make sure that we're not re-rendering at the root. Nice. Let's pass down the props. Cool. Let's pass down the indexes also. Let's watch the specific index of the item. Nice. I've got 6% to finish this tutorial. Nice. Challenging. Oh, what did I put in there? God damn it. Let's give the index in here. So now we got each individual useWatch will watch that particular index. Cool. Let's append. Cool. Nothing happened. Now, the moment we type this, yay, things happen working already, and we not re-render at the root. Fantastic. That's exactly what we want. We want to isolate and re-render inside our child component. We don't want to, interfere our neighbor, just party along inside. Great. So now we can do some calculation because now we got the type, we got an amount, we can know exactly what the value is. Fantastic. So, by the way, you can actually supply a default value in here too. So we just do that, make sure that nothing breaks. And then the next thing we want to do, we want to get the type times value dot amount. Cool. And we want to default that to be 0 so we don't get is not a number error. Nice. Finger crossed, hopefully that works. Yeah, you can go away. Let's go item. Hey, ooh, why is 10? Okay. Let's do this. Make sure it's good. Let's try this again. Okay. It's working and is completely isolated in your child component. So we're watching the input from the other inputs. Okay, sounds a bit crazy, but what it does is that you can subscribe to all individual components outside, and then you don't re-render the root of your entire app or form, and you can still do all the calculation within your child component. Beautiful. So that's working. And you can even do, say, like, I'll still go 4%, so I can go a bit more. You can do price total. Yeah. So imagine we have a price total in here. So you can actually watch the entire field array without. Let me just do it. Too much talking. So we can just get this whole boy in here, but this time we're not going to watch the index. We'll watch the entire thing. Make sure you pass down control. I think my battery is low and my Mac is getting a little bit slower. I'm just going to return now for now, and then you can console log the whole thing in here. So basically we're subscribing the entire form. Control equal control. Yeah, come on, make it work. Yes, let's see. There we go. So now we can actually watch the entire thing, and we're doing the calculation for the entire field array. Why is types not working? Oh, sorry, because I select later on. Cool. Yes. So you can do total price very easily inside your little components, or completely isolated environment. Do your heavy stuff in here without actually, interfere your neighbors, and etc. Cool. I think that's pretty much what I want to cover in this video. 3% left. I think I'm going through useWatch, which you can look in a bit more details on the doc in terms how the API structure like, and I think I kind of show you the value and when you should be using useWatch, or when you're using watch functionality is good enough. It really depends and situational. If your form is complex, you have a lot of child components, a lot of sub-component inside your form, then maybe you should consider useWatch. And it's very important to actually test out the performance before you're actually doing something to improve the performance as well. That's useWatch. We also covered useFieldArray. I'll show you how to actually easily, generating like almost like a little mini shopping cart where you can append and deleting items by some of the API that we provide with useFieldArray. And I'll show you some of the gotcha moment, like for example, like a register need to actually have a callbacks, and you need to have a default value. And hopefully you don't make this kind of mistake when you're actually building a useFieldArray. So cool. I'm gonna wrap up this video. I hope you found this useful, and feel free to leave questions down in the comment section, and I will actually including this tutorial code sandbox in there too, so you can have a play or feel free build on top of it. Cool. Thanks guys. Have a good weekend and see you next time.